Oh, wait, oh, there's Kaitlin. Okay, cool. So I just reminded a few people, and I know it's Tuesday. I feel like sometimes people get confused when there's a lot of Zooms throughout the week. But we are recording this Zoom, which I'm really, really excited about. So we'll be able to share it. If you are hopping on, just make sure that you're muted. But I'm literally so excited because Kaitlin has been freaking rocking it this month, and I'm just like, holy like crap balls. I don't know what to say. But I'm super, super pumped. So if you're watching the recording, I'm Kiana. Hey. And Kaitlin, could you introduce yourself and just kind of tell us your story? We're going to make this Zoom like 30 minutes because you're killing it and we all need to work. And I know it's month end and I'm super, super excited. So yeah, if you could just share your story and yeah.
Okay, so my name's Kaitlin. I'm a Ruby, and I started in the end of February, beginning of March, around there. Jackie's shaking her head yes, so that means yes. So I had my son a year ago, September. So around that time, I was like needing to go back to work, and I didn't want to leave him. So I had started with TFX with Jackie, and like we had talked about like the business, but she never like followed up with me. We had never really like talked from there. So then I saw the $20 deal and I was like, you know what, let's do it. So I didn't tell anybody, not even my husband. I just did it. So and from there I went Ruby like 2 or 3 months in. And then from there I didn't really do anything until recently. So I kind of like, I guess got like the excitement kind of left, and I was like using excuses like, oh, no one's working on my team, I can't sign anybody, and I just kind of like got excited that all this was going to keep going, but it stops if you stop working. So then it fell off and I lost my Ruby. So now this month I've been working really hard to get it back. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, awesome. Well, you're a queen. Oh, am I like echoing?
Yeah.
No? That was weird. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. If it does, we'll figure it out. But okay, so you have signed like over 20 customers this month, which is just so crazy. And you've been doing it every single day. So can you just walk us through like what your day is like, and then we can also go into customer conversations and all that good stuff. But I know you're super busy. You work. You're pregnant. You have a baby. You have a husband. So if you can just like run through your day, what it's like, and then we'll go into actually talking to people.
Okay, so I got my 6 list down to, well, my 6 list didn't change, but what changed was my mindset, and that, so when I started, I thought the personal development and like affirmations and journaling was like the stupidest thing ever. Like, who's gonna do that? It's not gonna work. Like, why would I do that? Well, it works, okay? So that's what I changed. So in the morning, I get up early now while the baby's still sleeping, which is like 6 or 7 a.m. because we all know a 1-year-old wakes up way too early. So I get up early and I do affirmations, personal development, journaling. And that I feel like has really changed everything, because I was using those excuses and saying like, no one's working on my team, I can't sign anybody. But instead, you change that and for the good. So be like, I'm so thankful that I have these people on my team. I'm so thankful I have these LCs. I'm so thankful that these 2 people are working on my team. Focus on that. Stop focusing on the bad, because you're just going to bring more bad and you're going to be a crap magnet. And all of that bad is just going to come. But if you focus on the good is going to come. So I feel like that's really what changed for me this month, and why I've been getting everyone. Also consistency. Like, I've been doing my 6 list consistently every single day for like 2 or 3 months now. And so I do journaling, affirmations, and personal development, like I said, add to network, unfollow, message. This month I've really been trying to message 200 people a day. I'm trying to think, what else do I do? Add to my stories. Hold on, sorry, I have it on here. Watch a training video and interact and follow up. So then the other thing that I also changed is I got a planner, and I've been writing down every single day who I talk to, so that the next day I can go and I can see their names and I can follow up with them. And if they give me a date, I can look on that day, follow up with them. And then on Fridays, I follow up with everyone for the week. And then on the 25th, I can follow up with everyone I've talked to for the month. So that I feel like has also changed for me. And yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, awesome. I love that. So, like the main thing, being consistent, sticking to your 6 list, but also getting like some type of organization with your being able to follow up. So, like, I think sometimes people forget about that. Like, the 25th is such a big day. Why don't we have everyone's name written down so we can go throughout the whole month? So that was like, wow, that just sparked in my head. Like, holy crap, that makes so much sense. Like, if you're not writing them down, do you have that mass follow up on the 25th? Probably not. Okay. So freaking good. And then also, I like that you said that you wake up early, which I think is so good. And I sometimes I feel like we're all human, so we get away from the things that we know make us feel good. Okay, so like drop a number 1 if that makes sense. Like, I know that I feel my best when I read my Bible and I do my self-development. You do get to a point where you say, oh, I'm good. Like, I feel great today. Oh, I feel awesome today. Like, oh, my business, I'm killing it. Like, I'm so excited. Everyone's killing it. My team's on fire. And then as soon as you start to feel really awesome, that's when you set aside the things that make you feel good, like your self-development, like reading your Bible, like watching training videos, because you think you're good. And I think that's one huge thing that we have to remember and be consistent with is when you feel your best, that's when you need it the most, because that's when the enemy sneaks in, is when you're on top of the world. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like this is preachable, but it's so true. So like, now that Kaitlin knows that that's what makes her feel good, she has to stick to it, and we all have to. You know what I mean? Yeah, he is a sneaky little snake. I'd be like, I rebuke you. I do not have time. But you guys, also side note, just speaking on this, just simple fact of getting up. Like today, I woke up early, read my Bible, did my self-development, and signed a customer instantly. Okay, so like what Shamanika told me was that the early bird gets the worm. She said you don't have to be the earliest bird, but you cannot just get dirt later on in the day. I said, oh, that makes sense. I don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning, but I have to be up and get my business started, just like Kaitlin's saying, which I think is so bomb. Okay, so how are you signing customers? I know you said your goal is to message 200 a day. What are you doing, and how do you make it happen?
So I work Facebook. I mean, I still use Instagram, but I don't sign anybody from Instagram. So Facebook is my jam. It has been since day one. So HAP is my jam since day one. But recently I was so scared to message people. I thought that I was just going to get mean messages. No one was going to like it. Well, just do it. Okay? That's all I can tell you. Just do the dang thing. Like the thing that scares you the most, the thing that you hate doing the most, just do it. Because I had it on my 6 list forever. And I would like, okay, yeah, send 20 messages a day. But I wasn't really doing it. So this last month, I've literally sent 200 messages a day, no joke. And that's where everyone has come from. Like, and obviously, like, I've talked to people like previously, and I've been consistent for months and months. This isn't just going to happen overnight. You can't message 20 people and it's going to happen. And you're going to sign an LC every day like me. No. But if you're consistent and you do stick with it and you do your 6 list every single day, I promise you it will happen. And so that's literally what I've been doing. And I've been messaging for product model, which I was super scared for. I don't know why, but I don't know. I was just scared. And so I was just letting the excuses win. And one day I was like, I think Carrie posted like a challenge or something, like send this to people. And so I was doing the product model for like keto coffee and hair, skin, nails. And literally that's what I've been sending this month instead of host to post messages like I usually send. I've been sending that. And so I sent it to everyone, like literally. And that's really been working because even if they're like, no, I don't drink coffee, or I don't like coffee, or I don't need to grow my hair, I'm like, oh, it's okay. I have these 50 other products. Don't you worry. And so I think I just got the confidence, and because I've been doing my personal development and my affirmations and my journaling, that I don't care anymore what people think. And if I do get a rude message, which is like way less than I thought it was going to be, block them and move on. Like, whatever, it doesn't even faze me anymore. But the old me, when I started, it would have fazed me and I cried and I would have been a mess. So just boils down to changing your thoughts and changing your mind and growing. Is that
Okay.
sorry? I got
Yeah, well, and I was gonna ask too, like when you actually go through and message, I know probably like a guided power hour would be better, but how are you messaging? Are you just messaging through your friends list, or are you messaging like the green light messaging? Like how are you going through and actually sending them?
So I in the past did green light messaging, but this month I switched it up and I just printed out my friends list and I would just literally go through from A to Z on my friends and just literally message everybody.
Sorry, I like to take notes.
No, you're fine.
Okay, awesome. You're great. Okay, so like you said, like I know that you said host post is your jam. So are you doing like a host post throughout the month and then working host post that way? Or like say that somebody says no, are you offering host to post? Or this month are you just like messaging Facebook?
So all of the above.
Okay,
So
I'm like
I do random like host to post throughout the month, like here and there randomly. And then let's say like I've already messaged for product model, then I'll send host to post message instead. Or let's say that I've already done host to post message, then I'll do product model instead. So it kind of just depends, but I'm sending both and I do the post, so all of the above. And then let's say like I get a conversation going from host to post and the person in the end is like, oh, I need to wait till this day, or oh, I'm not interested. I'm like, okay, cool, can you put this up for me instead? And then they're already like, we've already made a connection and they're already interested. So they're like, of course. And it's not even a question. They put up the host to post like that. And then another way I found out, I watched a Zoom, and if you go on, I don't know if I can show you, but when you have someone do a host post for you, you can save it into an album. So I've been seeing it under October Hap. And so then I can go back and I can message those people. And I did this on the 25th or yesterday or something. And I reached out to all of them like, hey, thank you so much for doing this host post for me. Like, this is literally what I do in the business, blah, blah, blah. And you can give them the business speech because they've already literally done it. So that's also another thing that I started this one.
wow, you're a queen. I'm super pumped. Okay, wow. Okay, so a little bit into like conversation. So, we'll go through like how you talk to somebody that comments on a host to post and how you talk to somebody that like when you're sending the product model message and you say like, hey, I know what message it is, like, hey girl, whatever, and you're like, I have a spot open for a product model for hair, skin, and nails, or coffee. Would you be interested? So if they say coffee, or if they're like, sure, yeah, coffee, what do you say next?
Okay, I'm pulling it up. Sorry.
Or I know a lot of people say, oh, well, what is it?
So,
like, what is it about?
So going off of the product model message, so it just says like, hey girl, this is probably crazy random, but I was wondering if you'd want to be a product model for hair growth vitamins or skinny coffee. I think you're gorgeous and would totally love it. From there, like if they're like, oh, what is it? What do I do? Like more info, whatever. Or a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, yes, but they think it's free. So then I send this next. You'll get your product for 3 months and send your results to me in return. I'm going to give you my distributor discount, which is 45% off. You are super pretty. I would love to work with you. Does it sound like something you want to do? So then from there, they know they're going to be buying a product. So then from there, you kind of whittle them out and they're like, oh no, I don't want to purchase it. Or of course, yes, like send more info. So then from there, I'll usually ask them like, okay, cool. So like, what are you interested in, the coffee or the hair, skin, nails? And then they tell me coffee. So then I just send them like the product description of the coffee or of the hair, skin, nails from there. And then they'll be like, at the end, I always like, how does that sound usually? So it keeps it going. And then depending from there, then I just tell them like, so you try items for 3 months and each month you get my discount on your items. So awesome. And then fill in the blank like of the product. It's one of my products I always get so excited for results. You're going to love this, and it's only 36 versus 65 with the savings for a month, and you can take pictures or just a verbal review. How does that sound? And then you can use that for any product, like fill in the blank, just change the price in the description. And then from there, obviously, yes or no, or like get a date. If they're like, oh, I don't have money right now, I'm like, okay, well, I'll reserve your spot in my calendar, and then that's when they'll give me a date.
Okay, perfect. So if they ask like, okay, are you having them sign up through your link, or are you putting putting the info in for them?
Depends. I asked them like, okay, I can either send you a link or you can send me your info, like which do you prefer? And then depending what they say, then I do that.
Okay, awesome. So pretty simple, and you can always like after this recording, if you guys have questions about wording, she can totally like drop the wording, or just don't message her because that's a lot of messages. So, but we'll get the wording and then we'll put it in one place. Okay. Okay. So next, if somebody okay, so you have somebody make a host post. Most people, you guys, you can find a host post to make. So like, I'm not even gonna ask her what host post are you using. It's probably something like Coffee or TFX. Okay. So you can even make one up. Super simple. Hey, my girl Kiana is looking for 4 people to try her skinny coffee who has 15 pounds to lose and loves coffee. Like, it doesn't matter. It could be anything simple. Just stick with one for a while. So when you are having host post conversations, how do you go through your host post conversations? Like, is it basically almost the same thing?
Yeah. I started something new because I was watching a Zoom, and instead of like just automatically messaging them, I add them as a friend first, and then I keep the list of that like on my notes on my phone. And then once I see that they have accepted my friend request, then I message them, because I was finding that people aren't getting the messages because like on your phone it has it in a weird spot now for requests, and like it'll send you a notification but it like goes away. And so like tons of times I'll just have messages sitting there forever and I don't even know it. And that happens to people too. So I just started saying like, I'm adding you as a friend so I can message you, like reply to. And then like I said, I have it in the notes on my phone. So like every day I would go morning during my follow-ups, and I would like check, okay, like who is my friend, who isn't my friend, so that I can kind of go back like, hey, did you get my friend request, or send them the message. So I found that was working better. And then so just literally message them like, hey, you wanted more info on the coffee, and they're like, yes. And then I just send them the description of the coffee and literally like what I just said before, go through like the pricing and the description and all of that, and like ask them how much weight they want to lose. And if they're obviously wanting to lose a lot of weight, then tell them about the promo we have for Triple Threat and just go.
Okay, perfect. That's also like one of my last questions was, are you upselling, and what point are you upselling at if you do?
So kind of, it depends on the product, but yes, I always try to upsell. Just depends on the product. So like if I'm doing coffee, I'll ask them in the first message like how much they want to lose, and I'll upsell there. But the rest I usually do it once they've already committed. So once they're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to order, then I'm like, cool, we also have this deal, or this and this pairs well together, or a lot of my customers like to do this, or I've seen great results with this, and I like upsell there and like, would you like to do that, or do you want to just stick with whatever? And so it kind of just based off price and like their price point, but I usually like to do it once they've committed, because I don't know, I just feel like maybe it scares them away a little.
Yeah. If you're like, oh, do you want to grow your hair? And then you're like, well, what about our whole skincare line? It's kind of a lot. So if they already say, one thing that I know that especially worked good for me, like while going for promotions and stuff, is if like say that you give them the link and you say like, oh, feel free to shop around because the whole site's 40% off for you right now. And then like people are adding so much stuff because they're like, oh, 40% off for me. I'm like, yeah,
I say that
like
too.
those are, yeah. So okay, awesome. Does anybody have any questions that you want to, like, if you guys have any questions, you can drop them in the comments. And then I just had like one more major question, or if Kaitlin, you want to add anything, you totally can.
I have something really fast.
Okay, perfect.
Just
Okay,
perfect. I know.
Talk to us about. Me whenever she asks me stuff, she scares me.
No. This is a good one. Okay, so talk to us about how you have boosted your volume by like probably at least 500 BV from talking to current loyal customers who actually aren't ordering anymore.
So that was another thing that I have like my notes over here. That was another thing that I changed this month, was like focusing on the good, like I said in the beginning. Focusing on the people that are working, but then focusing on your loyal customers that you have. So giving them love, like checking in with them and communicating with them, because they're going to purchase the most. Like they're already loyal to you. They already want what you have. They're just going to keep ordering. So I forget what I sent or like when I sent it, but I think I've just been checking in with them basically. And I had a lot of customers this month that didn't have auto ships make auto ships this month, and it's just because I checked in with them and I messaged them, and I feel like if you give them that love, like they're gonna give you that love back. Like you have to give what you want to get. So that was another thing that I also did this month. Thank you, Jackie. I totally forgot. And yeah, I had a lot of people place orders that wouldn't have if I hadn't reached out.
Okay, question on that. Are you doing like the Connect app, or are you just messaging individually?
So I use the Connect app to have like all the names, but then I just message them individually through Facebook. So it takes longer, but I feel like you build a connection better than just like sending out a mass message, because then I can like cater it to them, like, so how's it going with your greens or this and that, or if you're not liking it, okay, let's change it, or I had this release, or we have the because I think I did it for the BOGO. I messaged everyone for BOGO, and then I messaged them for the skincare line, and then people, like, since they were already loyal customers, they were like, no, but tell me about this and this, and I had people like just ordering random stuff like the greens and the reds, and like, but yeah, I had a lot of extra volume this month just by reaching out.
Wow, love that. Wow, I'm inspired. I'm like, wait, how? Like, I don't know why, you guys, but don't be like me and forget about your LCs once you sign them, okay? Drop a number 2 if you promise to always care about and check up on your loyal customers, because you do not want them to order for 3 months and then they never hear from you again, okay? So, like, that is a major fault of mine as a double diamond, and I have to get 100 times better, so don't do that, okay? Because, like, sometimes it does get hard when you feel like you have a lot of customers, but also like Mark Pentecost is a CEO and he always sends emails to every single person on the company. Okay. All customers, all distributors. So if the company can figure it out and Mark Pentecost can grow this business, I can follow up with the few loyal customers I have. Okay. Like, gotta get it together. But no, that's awesome. And I'm just like, need to do that more. So I'm glad I'm on this call because now I'm fired up. Drop number 3 if you're fired up. Okay, so Jax, do you have any other questions, or does anyone have any questions? And then I'm gonna ask my last question.
No, Jackie?
No? Okay, cool. So this is what I want to ask. If you had to give any advice so whether they're new or there's been someone that's in the business again, what would your advice be to like get that fire back or that consistency, and what switched with you in your mind that said, okay, no, this month I'm actually doing it? You know what I mean? Because it is easy if people have been in the business a while, or if they're just starting, they might be nervous. So how could you speak to people and say, like, this is what changed for me, and like, how did you get yourself into the space where you're like, no, I'm going to kill it every single day?
So finding that excitement again. Like when I first started, I was so excited and I ran to Ruby like so fast. So I had to find what I was doing and why I was so excited, which was post to post and literally just working my business. Like I was doing my list, like, but I wasn't like really doing my list, if that makes sense. And then, like I said, just really changing and growing my mind and doing my personal development and my affirmations and my journaling. Like you just have to find what works. Like in the beginning, host post was working for me. I was messaging for host post. Why did I stop doing that? I have no idea. But if it's working, go back to that. Figure out what, like, where in your business were you like the happiest, where you were on the top, like you were doing the best, like nothing can knock you down. Figure out what that is and go back to that. What were you doing at that point? What was happening in your life at that point? Go back and start doing that. Like obviously somewhere along the line you stopped doing something. Who knows why? We don't care why, but just get back to it and just do it again. And so I feel, but literally like don't stop doing personal development. Find what works for you for personal development and do it. For me, it's reading a physical book and highlighting it. I know for Jackie, it's audio. I know for Kiana, it's reading her Bible. Like, figure out what works for you and do it. Same with your 6 list. Figure out what works for you on your 6 list that you can do every day that will work for your schedule. Because for me, like Kiana said, I have a 1-year-old and I work. So I have to find things that I can do quickly throughout the day between the nooks and crannies of my day while I'm at break at work between clients because I'm a hairdresser, so I don't really have a lot of time at work. So if I'm running to the bathroom or grabbing a sip of water, is there something that I can do at that time? Is there something I can do while the baby's sleeping? Like, that's what I have to think about for my list. But my list and my day is not going to look the same for you. So you need to figure out what works for you and what gets you excited and fired up. And I'm out of breath because this baby is like squeezing my stomach.
I was gonna say you're really spitting the fire. So okay, yeah. Well, I love that. You're a queen. Thank you so much. I just think that's so bomb. Like, what were you doing when you were excited? Probably working a hell of a lot more. I don't know. Because when you get results, aren't you more excited? Like, Kaitlin, are you so excited about your business right now? Yeah.
Yes.
Because you're working and you've been signing people and volumes coming in everywhere. So, like, if you don't work, then you're not excited because then you're not getting results. So it's just you can go one way on the full circle or you can go the other way. And you got to pick which way. But yeah, thank you so much. And I just love you and I'm just so proud of you. I always see you saying that you're enrolling people. So I wanted to do a Zoom and ask you questions. And yeah, I just love you. I'm so excited and I'm proud of you. And I just know that everyone who's on here's business is going to blow up. So drop a number 4 if you feel that. Like, who's ready for the blow up? I'm ready. I'm so ready. I should see more 4s. I'll put some 4s.
Where are all the 4s?
No, but really, I'm super, super excited. I love you guys all so much. We'll stop the recording. I am going to hop off of here because I'm going to get up early